Forget it. Today we're talking all about the piccolo trumpet and its hidden secrets. Coming up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Trumpet Geek Nation, where we talk tips, tricks, gear, and other general geekiness about the trumpet. Today's topic is the piccolo trumpet. Now, if you've never seen a piccolo trumpet, this is what it looks like. Beautiful, isn't she? But holds a dark secret. And we're going to expose that today, as well as dive into the details of the piccolo trumpet. The first thing you'll notice is that it's tiny. Why? Well, it's actually pitched an octave above a regular B-flat trumpet. So if you took about half of the piping away from a regular B-flat trumpet, this is what you'd be left with. The second thing you'll notice is that it has a fourth valve. What does that fourth valve do? Well, it actually acts just like a fourth valve on any other brass instrument like tuba or euphonium. It extends the range at the bottom of the instrument. And that's useful for a lot of the music that the piccolo trumpet is used to play because of the keys and transpositions. That's a little more complicated than I want to get into on this video. So let's move on. So it's tiny and it has four valves. If we compare the tuning note from a regular B-flat trumpet to this, they're going to sound an octave different. So when you play your tuning note on a regular B-flat trumpet, which looks like this, it will sound like this. On a regular B-flat trumpet. Well, if I play that same note on this trumpet, it sounds like pitched an octave apart. Now, piccolo trumpets actually come in two keys, B-flat and A. Right now this is in B-flat, but if I wanted to put this in the key of A, I could change out this lead pipe right here just by unscrewing this, sliding out that. I have my other pipes right here. It comes with B-flat and A pipes with a cornet shank mouthpiece, which is what this is, smaller than a trumpet mouthpiece. See that? As well as trumpet shank mouthpieces. So if I wanted to put the A pipe in, I could just slide that in. And I'm ready to go. Now, the reason you'd want to play this in A is depending on the music that you're playing. A lot of Baroque tunes are written in the key of D, and it's just easier for transposition when you're playing it on A rather than in B-flat, because if you're playing it in B-flat, you would usually have a pretty rough key signature. So it just makes things easier for transposition. So what are the common uses for the piccolo trumpet? Well, the piccolo trumpet was invented back in the 1950s and was really brought into the spotlight by Maurice Andre. Maurice Andre was a professional trumpet soloist back in the day who had countless Baroque concertos for other instruments transcribed to work on the piccolo trumpet. And ever since Maurice Andre released albums on albums of Baroque concertos on piccolo trumpet, it's just taken off, taken the trumpet world by storm. Everybody wants to play Baroque concertos. It's a really great instrument to play that on. So now that we know a little bit about the piccolo trumpet, let's dive into the untold secret. So when I was a younger trumpet player, I was under the impression that if I bought a piccolo trumpet, I would be able to play high notes easier. Well, this is unfortunately false. Piccolo trumpet doesn't make it any easier to play the high notes that you can play on this instrument as compared to a regular B-flat trumpet. What it does is expand the space between those notes. So this is kind of a complicated thing to understand. If I play really, really high on a regular B-flat trumpet, those notes are outside of the normal harmonic range. If this doesn't make sense to you, don't worry, we're going to get back on track. So those notes are really close together. So if I'm playing above a high C on a B-flat trumpet, it takes a lot of control and precision to be able to play those notes in tune. Well, this trumpet, being an octave higher, takes those notes and puts them in the normal harmonic range, or for this instance we can say playable range. So it makes those notes easier to play in tune, easier to hit accurately, but it does not make it easier for those notes to really come out. I guess it can somewhat depending on your skill level, but if you're picking up the piccolo trumpet expecting to be able to play into the stratosphere, you're going to be highly disappointed at how difficult it is to actually play those notes. It took me years of trying to play this thing to actually be able to play it, and to play it well. And as you heard at the beginning of the video, it can be quite frustrating. Another challenge to playing the piccolo trumpet is that you can't put as much air into this horn as you can a regular B-flat trumpet. So if you're used to playing a high C or higher with a whole lot of air. When you try to play those same notes on this trumpet, it's going to back up on you. This horn is way smaller than a regular trumpet, way less piping, so there's a lot more back pressure to the horn. So if you try to take a big full breath and play a phrase on the piccolo trumpet, it's going to back up on you and make you lightheaded, dizzy, and in worst cases you could pass out. So typically when you play a phrase on the piccolo trumpet, you take smaller, more shallow breaths so that you can exhale more of the air out. It's a fun instrument to play, but it is very difficult. You have to be very precise, you have to have good articulation, great range, good flexibility. The piccolo trumpet is really for more advanced players. So the goal of this video was to just kind of dispel the myth that piccolo trumpet makes playing high easier. I certainly don't want to deter anyone from playing the piccolo trumpet, as it can be really enjoyable to play. But it's very frustrating, and until you reach a certain level of ability on a regular B-flat trumpet or C trumpet or whatever, I would suggest holding off on the piccolo trumpet. On top of just being difficult to play, one other skill that's needed to really play the piccolo trumpet is transposition. You're going to need to know how to transpose music in different keys to be able to play this. That's another added challenge on the fact that it's just extremely difficult to play. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit about the piccolo trumpet. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. And if you did like the video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time.